Okay, first of all, it is good morning to all of you. Sorry, good afternoon to all of you, and it is delighted for me to be present. One of my, the PhD student output from his thesis to present today as a part of the conference. So I'm Dr. Bashir. I'm from Malaysia. I'm the associate professor at the Faculty of Business and Accountancy, University Selangor. Selangor State University at Malaysia. So it is very excited we are to be part with these initiatives, and I hope it will be a wonderful session today, and all of you will be contributed to this conference to share your findings and research exploration. So topics today we are going to discuss is about the moderating effect of government rules and regulation on the relationship between contractor attributes and delay of road constructions in Oman. So this is our the topics, and then there is the three authors that we combined it together. Mainly, this is the the findings from Sulaiman Said Al-Hinai from his PhD thesis, and as part of the supervision, so I'm requested by Sulaiman to be present today. So that's why I'm the part of the presentation today. As you know, that road construction are all over the world are suffering due to the delay, and it caused the time and overrun. And it is there's a number of studies that indicated that what are the behind the causes of roads and construction can consider to the effects on time the completions. And as part of this study, we also explore some study from Arab countries, especially from the Saudi Arabia. We found that from the literature 150% sometimes they're delaying the road constructions in their countries. And also we have done some literature for the Jordan, and we identified that they have also the same causes for the times and the cost issues for the delaying of the road construction at Jordan. And also we found that there is a number of the numerous issues and challenges are facing over the countries, the similar the industries. And not only that, we also explore from the literature that there's lots of debating that which factors or which issues would be the first criteria to be, the cause and effect to reduce these challenges. So there's a lots of debates that we summarize, and then finally we identify there the country or region or different the geographical the landscape are caused the different the issues can be the differentiate with the different countries that has effect on the road construction delays over the world. As a part of that study that we are focusing for the road construction delays at Oman, so we've gone through the number of articles and explore and identify the the factors. And these are the issues that we extract from the literature and summarize that the most common and the most important the factors that can be cause and effect on the road construction in Oman. And then also we explored that, as we mentioned in my previous slide, that there's a number of the region have the different the climates, different rules, different environmental landscapes, and different the local customs. So that is also we consider as a the moderating the rules based on the summarized factors that we extract from the literature. So end of the day, we develop we've gone through all the literature, because I have to be a little bit jump because I have only not more than 10 minutes. So these are the literatures that we summarize. And then we also, before we take our decision, we summarize the factors from the most relevant and related articles. That is, we call the core article for these studies. Okay, and based on these core articles, we developed the frameworks. And this is his PhD thesis frameworks. But from this the frameworks, we only focus for this conference is only one variables. The contactor attributes are moderated by the government rules and regulation to the root construction delays in Oman. So this is the the main research frameworks that we extract only the one variables. For the methodology part, yes, it is a quantitative approach, and we develop the research questionnaires. And there's a two-way we develop it. One is from majority, we extract from the literature the questions, and then also sometimes we do some self, the administrative questions to make this questionnaire, the reasonable and below, that what we expected. And there are 150 samples we collected from 300 samples, and then we use the unit analysis to collect the data from contractor, consultant, suppliers, and supervisors and owners. During the data collections, we use the purposive random sampling methods to collect the data, and for the statistical methods, we use the two types of statistics: descriptives and econometrics. For the econometrics, we use the structural equation models. As you know, the structural equation model are the most, the popular and very, the easy and comprehensively to measure the relationship between the, the variables. So that's the great opportunity for us to use this most sophisticated, the tools for analyzing of this data. And from the models, we found that our, the construct variables was very good. And there is a, the construct reliability. We have the Convac alpha is almost 94%, composite reliability 95%, and ABE also the more than 50% means that 64%. So it indicates that internal consistency of the the questionnaires and the data is very good and very strong. Okay, and not only that, when you have the path coefficient, we can see the relationship between contractor attributes and the the roots construction delay in Oman is highly and positively significant. So it can the represents that contractors, if they play a vital role, they can, the influence to reduce the root construction delays in Oman. So this is the, the major findings that we have. And later on, when we summarize our, the overall, the accuracy of the models, we found the 77% is the R square and 75% is the adjusted R square, whereas the P below is less than 1% error. So it means that our model are representing the contractor's attributes to the root construction delay are highly and the well connecting with the representing the independent to dependent variables. Furthermore, we also done a further analysis to see whether the moderating effect of the rules and regulation from the the country perspective in Oman on the relationship between the IB and DB, and we found that there is a very, the strong relationship between the rules and regulations are moderate on the relationship between the contractor attributes and root construction delays in Oman. So based on our findings, we also have summarized the, the recommendations, and our study recommends that we can overcome the roots delay problems by increasing the details of the site investigations, ensuring the careful monitorings, regular meetings, effective site management, collaborative workings, and effective coordinations, and also the proper and comprehensive planning, schedulings, ensuring the full and intensive commitment from all parties that is related to the root construction industries in Oman, as well as the Gulf cooperation countries. I think as a short presentation, that's all from our side. And thank you for your kind patience to listen from us. And we are expecting, that your any suggestion, any questions, that Sulaiman will take notes as part of his improvement. Okay, that's all from my side, Dr. Kumar.
Thank you, Bashu, for your wonderful presentation. What was the total population size? Because you mentioned
total population. Actually, we distributed 300 because of it was very challenging times when he collected data during the control over times for the COVID, and we collected 218. 252. Later on, when we checked the data, we found that some data is not complete. And then second screening, when we again, the further check, we found some data is repeating. End of the day, we found the most suitable and accurate and complete data is 152. So we accept it. You have to unmute, Dr. Kumar.
Yeah. So wanted to know, like, when it comes to this is qualitative survey which you have done, the results when it comes to statistics, I saw only Cronbach Alpha, and what was the other tools which you have used?
Actually, no, this is not a Cronbach Alpha. We use the structural equation model. I did not bring all the. If you go to my paper, that we have all the presentation, the tabulation is there.
Okay.
But we did not bring it here. So we just summarize the result. We use the structural equation model, and as part of the structural equation model, there is the composite construct reliability, composite reliability, BIF, the path coefficient, and all the the component are there. But we did not bring it here. We just summarize the result.
Okay, because those things I couldn't able to see. That's why I just casually asked. Thank you.
Well, yes, hello everybody. Go ahead. Hello everybody. My name is Claudio Moreno, and together with my partner Oscar Chamarabi, we are going to present the summary. We're going to sum up the results of our research project carried out in at the University of America in Bogota, Colombia. This project is titled Physicochemical and Mechanical Characterization of Spent Coffee Ground Briquettes as an Alternative Fuel to Firewood. Well, firstly, it's well known what's the problem of the firewood and the coal. There are three concrete problems regarding this the use of firewood as a fuel source. Mainly, the deforestation is a clear problem in developing countries, because this is the only source of energy where there is not sources such as gas, coal, fuels, electricity, and so on. But the use of firewood has two problems: the deforestation and the exposition to fumes released from the combustion of this biomass that generates and creates problems and health problems such as chronic pulmonary disease, emphysema, and pulmonary cancer, among others. What was the alternate? Chosen alternative. As you know, Colombia is the fourth coffee producer after Brazil, Indonesia, Vietnam, and from the agriculture process, we have some waste, such as the fruit, the skin, the bean, the husk. But these wastes are commonly in the rural zones. In urban zones, we have in the main cities, we have this waste, which is the spent coffee ground obtained from the preparation of the beverage. And the spent coffee ground waste causes some environmental products as a methane generation and the pollution of water sources. In this project, we made a review about the different experience, mainly in South Asia and Africa. And we found the spent coffee ground is well developed, such as feedstock to elaborate pellets and briquettes to obtain a biofuel, to obtain a solid biofuel. In this case, we choose the spent coffee ground to be mixed with the renewable newsprint or recycled newsprint, which was soaked during 4 days. This soaked newsprint, wet newsprint, was mixed with the spent coffee ground manually or handly in order to obtain the raw material. We prepared 3 compositions in order to study the influence of on the characteristics of this substance in the mechanical and the physicochemical properties. We elaborate this briquetting press. It's called Peterson press, which consists a frame composed by the 2 sheets of cold rolled steel, together 2 blocks of wood, and where a hydraulic jack of 2 tons is installed. This is the mechanism to press the mixture, and this is the briquette obtained. As you can see, this is a hole inside the briquette. And in the right side, you can see a batch of briquettes of composition, 50% base spent coffee ground and 50% recycled newsprint. The other compositions analyzed were the 70-30 and 80-20, mainly in the base material is spent coffee ground. Well, firstly, the properties, mechanical properties analyzed were the compressive strength done in an universal test machine to determine the resistance. As you can see, this is the machine, and a load of was applied on the samples, taking in mind that it's not a metallic material. We are working a different one. And this is the shatter resistant probe, which consists in launching the briquette from a height of 1 meter and analyze what happened when the first piece is broken. Then we must compare the biggest piece against the original mass, and that yields to an index of shatter resistance. It's measured in percentage, but not in units of effort, mechanical effort, or press. And the third mechanical test was the abrasive resistance, which was done inside this drum. And this is a didactic mill, a ball mill. And inside the drum, the briquettes were set up, and the walls, the internal walls of the drum, were covered by with a sandpaper, and the mill rotates at 25 revolutions per minute. After 5 minutes, the final mass was compared against the initial one. That was this was the mechanical properties. Now the physicochemical properties were analyzed here in the services from Universidad del Valle in Cali, Colombia, the laboratory in fuels and combustion, and they offer the service to obtain the high heat belly. which we obtain the high heat value for the different composition of briquettes. And they presented the report according the conditions of the test were carried out. Also, we had to hire the services of another company in Bogota to obtain the levels of emissions, mainly of these gases, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons, mass particle, N2, dioxide nitrogen, NO, and dioxide nitrogen. Those were the gases measured with this probe. We constructed this device in order to guarantee a constant flow of air, because if we do this test to open air, the results are not reliable. And the main conclusions of this study, you can find it out more deeply in our article, in our paper, excuse me. We conclude this the fire good, excuse me, the briquettes done with this measure of spent coffee grounds and a newsprint recycle as a good alternative to replace the firewood, the coal, and conventional fuels. But we suggest that the main feature of this use must be in a well ventilated area. I forgot to mention, we took initially as a reference the Colombian standard in 2016, but there are a problem with this standard because it's only focused on coal and characteristics, and the coal has a different properties than those of the spent coffee ground or other biomasses. This fuel has a high heat value, is similar to that of the firewood, but obviously is less than that of the coal. The emissions of CO and CO2 were less than those released during the combustion of firewood and coal, but the emissions of nitrogen compost contents are high or are similar. So this is a characteristic that need to be controlled in future studies. Mechanical properties, we obtain interesting results because this performance of the briquettes warranty is shape, is integrity during transport, during storage conditions. That is a main factor when you try to trade to commercialize this firewoods or this solid fuel. And this is the spent coffee ground as a feedstock is an interesting material, not only for elaborating biofuels, but is interested the application in cosmetic, in water treatment, as a fertilizer, and so on. So those are the main results that we obtained from this study. And if you are interested in getting information about our study, you can obtain it from our paper, or you can contact me. Later I will send you my email. Thank you very much. I don't know if you have any question.
Thank you, Claudio, for your wonderful research, especially a nice invention indeed, actually making usefulness from the waste items or waste products. Very good research work which you have carried out. Wonderful work. So wanted to just understand with respect to the, the strength, mechanical strength, when we can, and also you will be using it for alternative for firewood, right? Fuel for firewood.
For the mechanical, the compressed test, you
Yes.
asking me?
Uh-huh.
We use a universal test machine, that conventional machine to evaluate the mechanical behavior of compress or tension. So in this case, we use the machine, but to a lowest speed of compression. Taking in mind that this is a soft material, no a metallic material, which are designed these machines.
Okay.
And the results are to prove that this could held boxes one on other when to organize it in pills in a storage process.
Great. Yeah. So, the properties with respect to the smoke, you said NOx and other formations. Is it ready? It is reduced than that of coal and other things, other materials which we use.
This the material is used.
How much it has been with respect to value when you compare with coal? What is the coal NOx, and is there any study with respect to that? The fire values which you have done.
Regarding the heat value is less than you compare against the coal. It's similar to the firewood, and the emissions are lower in CO and CO2. But the only problem regarding emissions is with the contents of nitrogen.
Okay. Nice to hear. So thank you for your research.
Colleague in science research and practice. My name is Lucia Sedlakova, and I come and live in Czech Republic, and I'm studying the last year of my PhD studies at Mendel University in Brno, Faculty of Business and Economics. I'm writing my dissertation at the Department of Law and Social Studies. My research focused on exploring the issue of disability. Today, I would like to present the results of the research about the Energy Act 458 from year 2000, collections concerning customers with health disadvantages. And I wrote with cooperation with Ivo Horák and Nikola Nováková from my alma mater. Okay, the content. My presentation will consist of the following parts, which briefly reflect my research on this topic. Installation the topic with aim of the study, we've introduced you the given research problem. Review reflects on the one of the literature research. Methods, data, introduced basic research methods and data used. And research results will explain the results of the research conducted. And the last literature review will present the literature third section. After the presentation, there will be space for your questions and comments on the topic. Okay, now go to energy campaigns. It is a hot topic in the Czech Republic, in Czech speaking area, with rising energy prices. Do you know it? And restrictions by the 2000 law within amendments that would protect more energy customers and at-risk groups. And Energy Act, especially number 458. It's on business conditions and state admissions in the energy industry and the amendments to some acts, energy acts. But how can a customer defend himself outside the 458 law? That is the question and the subject of this research. The aim of this research is to find a way to effectively and immediately address to withdrawal of gas accomplishments beyond the scope of the Energy Act. And go to review the passive derogations of the Act 158 for year 2000. Of the collections were 37 amending the 3 amendments in full, specific in environment of disabilities in the Czech environment. The worldwide help of aid, which in mentioned in the article, is very interesting. Illegal aid online application for people with disabilities, opportunities, and changes, which comes up with an application of legal aid to people with disabilities in online. It was in Indonesia government where the research was applied by Rosalinda. Here you can see the SPT 37 amendments to the law in the Czech environment. It does not achieve such flexible as the version of the Malaysian government, where people with disabilities can apply for help using online form. We do not have this option in the Czech environment. And go to methods and the data. We use primary data. We made an experiment on customer with advantages. The experiment consisted of the following parts: collecting information about the change, supplier, the service packages delivery, interview with the customer, setting up a methodology to solve the problem based on the expected outcome, application of the methodology by the customer, and evaluation of the result.
Hi sir, good afternoon.
Namaste ma'am, ಹೇಳಿ ma'am.
Busy ಇದ್ರಾ sir?
ಅದೊಂದು ಕಾನ್ಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತಿದ್ದೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಹೌದಾ?
Sorry, there was a technical issue. Please go ahead.
Can I present now?
Yes.
Okay. We studied hypothesis, which you can write in the full paper, and secondary data build references to appendix, experiment on the real data with customership, and the full text of Energy Act. Due to missing this statutory period, withdraw from the suspicion. It's a special detail from the research. You can read in my paper. And I have the second topic, and there is literature review, and this is all from this topic. And thank you for your attention. And when you have some questions about the smooth running of the conference or my presentations, please do not hesitate to contact me by email, which will insert into the chat there. Okay. And can I go to present my second paper?
Yeah. Please complete it.
Yeah, we have not so much time yet. You see it? Yeah.
Yes. Inclusion of people with disabilities in working.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Professor. And there's my presentation with inclusion of people with disabilities in teamwork. It was applied in a private health facilities and security agency with no proactive implementation policy with workers with disabilities. I cooperate with Nikola Novakova, and there's content, yeah. And in addition to topic, we will focus on the inclusion of people with disabilities into work team in the Czech Republic. In July 2022, there were a total of 313 1,000 vacancies, which is a few that vary in any month. In the previous year, 2021, for example, in January 2021, there were 325, and 425,000 vacancies in July 2021. And in year 2018, the Czech Statistic Office conducted a sample survey of persons with disabilities as part of integrated household survey. The survey found that 13% of population of the Czech Republic over the age of 15 has a disability. In total, there were 1,152,000 people with disability, care or mobility allowance, or have obtained a disability card. The chart shows the number of people with a disability, age 15 and over in parency household in this year. And go to review, the Czech Republic has long been one of the countries that has taken increased responsibility for removing barriers that prevent people with disabilities from participating in society and living full life. In order to set policy effectively, it is necessary to have statistical data on the broad number and structure on these people. This is a constant problem of Czech Republic. Do you know where it is? And it is still trying, according to Western countries, to take a positive and proactive approach to the issue of disabilities, but it still does not know the environment and outcome too well. And there you can see methods and data. Secondary from it's a source from Czech Statistical Office and Ministry of Labor and Social Affairs. And primary data, we make questionnaire with 113 respondents, but only 101 questionnaire was relevant and have full telling. And it was in sector security agency and health private faithfulity. And there is the results of research. And there is from the whole of the relevant questionnaire, it is interesting to note workers who were already working before their disability was recognized, worked and are now working despite their disability, and a rate of almost 92% of the total amount. More than 50% of the workers working before the disability was recognized to work more than 20 hours per week and was the 50 hours per week. And there, according to the contingent table, you can see interesting results is that employed working in the range of 1 to 3 years in the corporation, undergrad training in the percentage of 75 trained workers out of the total with all disabilities in the number of 31.5% compared to more recent years. And there you can see, according to the contingency table, question 5 and question 8 have a strong relationships, so strong that the dissatisfaction of workers with disability already working before the disability status is almost 83% compared to working before the recognizing disability statute first to third in the percentage terms only 9.1%. And go to discussion. According to the results of the questionnaire survey conducted in the second quarter of 2022, There's a clear nuance with Weiner's research from 2007. Weiner argues here the recruitment process does not end with the hiring of the employee. It is followed by his adaptation to the work and social environment. And there is my list of literature review, and dear colleague on the word, thank you for your attention. And now if you have questions about Smooth, you can give me by mail or there to chat. Okay, thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you, Lucy, for your wonderful research work. It was great presentation and nice research topic which I have taken with respect to disability and all. Nice getting in touch with you. Thank you.
Thank you, dear professor. Have a nice day.
I'm pursuing my PhD on a topic that to analyze the dog pet behavior with the humans by using the image processing technique. So first I want to brief about this topic that a lot of work has been done manually and not in the field of computers. And what I am doing right now on this particular topic has been done already, some part of this research on human beings, but not on the pets. Especially I have taken pets, dogs only, no other animal has been taken in my research. So I'll be starting with it. What are the basic objectives of this particular topic? To analyze the dog behavior and how we will be analyzing the behavior of our pet with its owner. Majorly, I have used the MATLAB and SVM support vector machine to implement that how I'll be analyzing the particular pet behavior. This one was the basic idea I am talking about. What I am doing here is I can perform the same thing on the 2D images. I have done my work on the images of the dog's face, and 2D has been done and it is quite easy to perform, and 3D is very difficult to perform the same. How this image processing has been done. So coming to objectives one by one. For analyzing this behavior, I have used MATLAB, as I have told you. SVM is one of the most popular supervised learning we are using in today's era. Moving forward, deep learning is also in the fashion today. As I have started my research before 2 to 3 years, so that time I have chosen this SVM. SVM basically selects the extreme points of that particular image. If I show you, let me just move forward. You can see the image of this particular pet. I have taken the 2D image of the pet's face, that is on the x-axis and y-axis. So what support vector machine is particularly performing, that this is doing an analysis. The distance has been measured from the particular fiducial points. Fiducial points are basically the landmarks which I have taken, that is eyes, the dog's nose, and the lip area. In some cases, I have seen that ears of a particular dog are standing position, some are on the side position, some were in front. So I have, you can say, ignored the ear area, reason being because it was showing me a difference, or you can say a diversity in the facial image. So I have taken the fiducial points of eye, nose, and lips. Why I have taken this? Basically, if we talk about the behavior, a healthy dog is very easy to train as compared to the unhealthy one. How we will be identifying healthy and unhealthy? Basically, if we go for regular vet checkups, we'll be able to make it up that whether our pet is healthy or not. But what if I need to know that without going to the vet, if there are some symptoms, and what if there are no other symptom that my pet is healthy or not? So I have taken this particular thing to analyze it at my own. How I'll be analyzing it? If there is some changes on the face of the dog, moving toward a bit toward the paralysis side of the dog, or any kind of disease which affects the outside of the dog's face, and that will be reflecting at the very early stage rather than going to the vet. If I'll be able to identify the dog's behavior at the early stage, I can save it from any other a serious problem, because I have personally gone through this particular thing. A pet of mine has been, faced the death, a sudden death. So at the today's age, I'm still not able to know that what was the cause of its death, sudden, all of sudden. So coming to the topic again, SVM has been used for analyzing the behavior, how the behavior will be analyzed. If the dog is healthy, I have done the manual studies. I have added the questionnaire also, and I have gone through the SVM also. If there is some difference is more than as per taken the measurement range, if the difference is more than that, I have used the classifier for that. I have taken some range that up to that particular distance, if the distance is more, but from left to right, right to left, between the fiducial points, if the distance is more than the defined range, so I have differentiated it. If it is more than I have categorized it that it cannot be cured. And if the distance difference is that much in the belonging to that particular range, then I can say that that can be particularly cured. How it will be cured is the next matter, that whether it can be cured by ourselves or by going to the vet. But the major concern is to identify, is the pet suffering from a particular thing which can be identified at the very early stage. So for that particular thing, I have used the classifier also. An algorithm has been designed that will be taken for measuring the distance, the left to right, right to left, from eyes to nose, and the lip area. If it is affected, then how much effect has been measured, whether it will be cured or not, that has been taken care of. Proposed architecture for basic 2D analysis is being done. The image has been captured by the particular camera or by a mobile phone. Image has been detected. In that particular image, we have detected the edge detections, which I have told you earlier, that the fiducial points. Fiducial points has been taken. What I was talking about, the distance that has been taken is Euclidean distance I have taken. And classifier, as I discussed, classifier is used to identify whether that affected dog is in the category of can be cured or in the category of cannot be cured. So if I take this as a particular thing, whether I need to go to the vet or not, we all go regular vet shops to keep our pets healthy. But what if we are having the regular vaccination, but still we are not able to rectify that what happened if the dog is suffering from something and was not able to detect at the early stage. Fine. So what I have taken the components as shown in the architecture itself, that the image detection has been done, edges has been detected, face landmarks has been taken, and distance evaluation is done, and classifier. In case of classifier, I have taken two cases, that is the pet can be cured or cannot be cured. Fine. I have not taken the condition may or may not, because that would be quite dicey. So to keep it clear, I have just taken either it can be cured or it cannot be cured. If the distance is more than the range specified, the range is specified by using the MATLAB. I have performed this particular analysis and this architecture on MATLAB. So moving forward, I can show you. Here I have mentioned may or may not be, but this has been not implemented practically. Theoretically, it can be taken that the third option may or may not be cured, but practically I had only two options, can be cured and cannot be cured. Fine. Proposed work, what is it this telling me, that image of the dog has been taken with the consent of the owner, and edge detection is done using SVM. Facial landmarks is basically ears, eyes, outer edge, nose, outer edge, and lips. Divided the face image in two parts, left side and the right side of the pet. Euclidean distance has been taken, difference distances has been taken from left side and the right side, and affected portion, how we have calculated the affected portions in such a way that the more the difference is, the more the affected portion is. Classifier is used to detect whether the affected part can be cured or cannot be cured. So I will be concluding my discussion here that with the help of evaluation, we can easily find out whether our pet can be cured or not, which limit the surgical portion, because if it cannot be cured, then surgery is of no use or depend on the opinion of owner only. And also, if I would like to add one point here, if I am able to identify at the early stage if the dog is suffering from something that is visible on its face, then we can go for the treatment at the very early stage rather than waiting for any serious symptom to occur. Fine. This study has been done on humans by the name of Parkinson's disease on the humans. Fine, but it has been not done as per my knowledge, the reviews I have done, the literature review I have done, it has been not done on the dogs. So I moved to this particular topic. I have gone for few references also. I have added very few here, but I have gone through many more. And I would like to conclude over here for the same. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, I'm attending the meeting from Bursa Uludağ University in Turkey, Filiz Giray. I study social science and taxation. Since we have 10 minutes, I want to start the presentation immediately. But I have a technical problem with my computer. PowerPoint program haven't opened. I'm sorry, I will explain the presentation directly. Our topic is evaluation of the financial effectiveness of excise tax on alcoholic beverages. The aim of the study is to evaluate the restrictive effect of the excise tax applied to alcoholic beverages that emit negative externalities on these products in Turkey from point of the financial effectiveness of the excise tax. The financial effectiveness of excise tax will be analyzed by total tax revenues, its share in gross domestic products, GDP, and tax elasticity indicators. Alcoholic beverages, which are the subject of excise tax, are among the products that emit negative externalities. The fact that negative externalities are progressively increasing economic, social, and environmental problems in the world has increased the importance of this issue in the economic and financial literature. Excessive consumption of alcoholic beverages leads to some costs directly, indirectly, and non-financial as individual and society. The first is the direct costs caused by health expenses and crime expenditures. It also causes such as accidents, security, and emergency service, and judicial costs and prison sentence. The second is the labor and productivity cost that arise due to the fact that the use of alcohol reduces economic output and production, low productivity in the workplace, including alcohol-related illnesses and premature deaths. The third type of cost is the non-financial welfare costs that lead to the pain, suffering, and loss of life that arise due to alcohol use. When an excise tax is applied to alcohol, people who consume alcohol excessively gain in two ways. Firstly, the expenditure of these people on alcohol is decreasing. The second is that there is a decrease in the internal costs of alcohol abuse. However, the decrease in alcohol consumption caused by these taxes depends on the extent to which they change the consumption behavior of individuals, their economic impact and importance. Excise tax on alcoholic beverages is applied in two ways. The tax is determined on a specific basis according to alcohol content of the product, or an ad valorem basis to its volume. The two methods are usually combined to include both volume based on alcohol content and value in OECD countries. In Turkey, both the relative rate and the minimum fixed tax amount are applied in the calculation of these excise tax on alcoholic beverages. In Turkey, excise tax on alcoholic beverages is levied both at the relative rate of the product and at the minimum fixed tax amount, but the rate of excise tax is 0% on most products. The relative tax rate of excise duty or the application of the minimum fixed tax amounts according to the type of beverage in alcoholic beverage is calculated in different ways in beers produced from malt, wine, and other alcoholic beverages. It was found to following conclusions. There are direct and indirect costs of alcohol beverages. These costs need to be internalized. The most effective policy tool used in the internalization of externalities is taxes. Fluctuations are observed in all products over the years for the Turkish economy. Although there is a decrease in the consumption of vermouth, whiskey, and rakı, there is an increase in the total of other products. It's generally observed that in the years when there is a decrease in domestic production of alcoholic beverages, their imports increase. The export of alcoholic beverages is increasing in the export of all products except wine. The production and consumption of alcoholic beverages in Turkey has a significant share in the economy. The tax elasticity rates in excise tax according to gross domestic products didn't reach 1 unit. The tax elasticity is low. When the situation of Turkey with OECD countries is compared, it is noteworthy that the tax on alcoholic beverages in Turkey is very high, which leads to illegal use of individuals. It can be said that other regulations are needed since the tax policy alone cannot achieve the desired success in reducing consumption of alcoholic beverages. My explanations on the subject are complete. Thanks for listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Felice, for your wonderful presentation.
I'm going to talk today about food in motion as a visual rhetoric and advertisement, and I will try to explain it. So first, if you look at advertisement, you can see that always when there is an advertisement of food, you can see that this food is moving. Like, for example, the cornflakes is flying and the hot dogs is dancing. So this was a little bit weird, and we want to see what does this mean. So we got to places that we can saw a lot of good advertising, like the Super Bowl or the Clear Award, and you can see that that about 90% of them, in 90% of the advertising of food, so the food is moving. So we wonder why they do it, and we got to advertise agencies, and we asked them why they do it. They said, this is really selling food, but we don't have any clue why. So we try to investigate it, and we do the little experiment that I'm going to show you today. And you will see that, that when people see food that is moving, they think they perceived the food is more fresh. And now if the food is more fresh, you can sell it more easily, but you can also connect it to perception of healthiness. And this is what we try to investigate here. So we want to really see if when the food is moving, they perceive it as more fresh. And as you can know, motion and healthiness are associated with freshness. There are many evidence that food products were rating more fresh when they present in emotion. We already saw it. And this is the association is like in nature. Things in nature that are fresh are moving. Like if you try to remember about our ant fathers, like if they saw in the field like two animals that they want to eat, one of them is like running very fast, so it's hard to get it, but the other one is like sitting on the floor. So if you go to the one that resting on the floor, it's more easy to catch it, but you understand that it's probably not fresh and maybe it's sick and you cannot eat it. So naturally, we have like a primitive mechanism that say that that move is related to fresh. Okay, so I want to go to, because I don't have much time, I want to present the experiment, but our idea is this motion, make food perceived as fresher, and this can increase also the sense of healthiness. So this is the idea. And the experiment I want to present now is the basic experiments, the effect of motion on perceived freshness. We took 70, the participants were 70 undergraduate students. Most of us was men, and the average age was 25. They were presented with a print advertisement that was taken, like it said that were took from a newspaper. Of course, we manipulate it. And the brightness and other identifying cue were removed from the advertisement. We divided the groups, the participant to two groups, randomly divided, of course. And the condition was motion or not motion. This is the advertisement that they saw. You can see that in the left one, the fish is like still is not in motion, and in the right one is more than in motion. We did many products in many categories. I cannot display them now because of the short time, but each one of them was like still versus motion. So after a participant were asked to evaluate the freshness of the fish from 1 to 9, 1 is not fresh at all, and 9 is very fresh. Wait, I cannot see. Okay, so ANOVA one-way reveals significant main effect for emotion of the freshness. You can see the results. The fish in emotion is 6.23. versus the motionless, which is 4.86. This is significant, and the results clearly show the effect. In a second experience, which I don't have time to show now, we showed that the mechanism. We showed that the mechanism of this phenomenon is the freshness. I mean that food influence the taste, and the freshness is mediate the effect. So the results clearly suggest that the use of motion in advertising increase the evaluation of freshness and health. The process takes place because consumer intuitively associate freshness with emotion. And this is why food is the most in use so frequently in advertisements. So I don't have more time, but of course there is limitation for this. But I just want to jump to the practical implementation. For example, if we want to promote healthy eating, so we can take the healthy products and make them in the motion, and in this way, government and agency can do the same. All right, that's for now.
Everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Yangveja Shana Santoso, the representative of Tanato Foundation. I study in Universitas Diponegoro, Faculty of Engineering in Indonesia. Today, I will present my research about the enhancements of lignin potential from water hyacinth to produce high-value material product through the colorization process. For the background of my research, there are three problems that I want to focus. The first one is water hyacinth. Water hyacinth is a floating aquatic plant with the ability to reproduce very quickly. So, it is considered a plant that damages the aquatic environment because its presence reduces water discharge, inhibit water traffic, and siltation. In order to reduce its population, water hyacinth is mainly used as raw material as handicrafts, whereas water hyacinth contains 17% of lignin. The high content of lignin in water hyacinth can be processed into binders, ion exchange resin, additive in cosmetic industry, in pharmaceutical industry, and as sodium lignosulfonate surfactants. In the process of lignin isolation in water hyacinth, the lignin obtained usually has a dark color. This limits the potential of lignin for its application because it affects the color of the final application products. Therefore, it is necessary to study further on the method to brighten the obtained lignin. The method that can be used is decolorization. It can be done through coagulation, flocculation, and adsorption process. But in the previous studies, the decolorized black liquor is not further processed into lignin. So it is not known how the effect of decolorization of the lignin in terms of colors, odor, and solubility. Therefore, further research is needed on the decolorization of black liquor into lignin by coagulation, flocculation, and adsorption methods. And then for the research method that I have done, it is divided into 5 points, which are pretreatment, making of black liquor, lignin isolation, decolorization of lignin, and characterization. For pretreatment process, the water hyacinth was washed, dried, cut, masked, and also filtered, become water hyacinth powder. And then for the making of black liquor, the water hyacinth powder was reacted with sodium hydroxide solution using organosolve method. And then for lignin isolation, the black liquor solution are mixed with sulfuric acid, and then the sedimented lignin was obtained and separated by the centrifugation, and then it was mixed with sodium hydroxide solution. And then for the decolorization process, there are 2 steps, just like I have mentioned before. It is coagulation, flocculation, and adsorption. For coagulation and flocculation process, polyaluminum chloride and alum was added. And then for the adsorption process, it is done using activated carbon. And here is the result. The first one is the effect of PAC concentration on lignin decolorization. Based on the data in the graph, it is known that the percentage of the decolorization in the coagulation flocculation process increased along with the increase of concentration of the PAC, because PAC is able to release active aluminate groups that plays part in the formation of colloidal particles. So, higher concentration of PAC cause more formation of colloidal particles. In addition, the efficiency of decolorization in the coagulation flocculation process is also influenced by the ratio between PAC and alum. A reference states that the use of PAC and alum in 50-50 ratio can reduce pigments. The next one is the result regarding the effect of activated carbon concentration on lignin decolorization. Based on the data in the graph, it is known that the percentage of decolorization in the adsorption process increased along with the increase of activated carbon concentration. One of the factors that affect the adsorption process is the surface area of the adsorbent, where the larger the surface area, the better the adsorption process. So, higher concentration of activated carbon cause adsorption process run better and result in the increase in the percentage of decolorization that occurs. And then the last one is the comparison of lignin characteristics. We analyze the colors, odor, water solubility, and pH. As we can see here, the color of the lignin is different, where the pure lignin has a black color, and then the best decolorized lignin has light brown color, and the commercial lignin has a dark brown color. And then for the odor, pure lignin and best decolorized lignin has no smell, but for the commercial lignin is quite smelly. And then for the water solubility, 3 of them are not dissolved in the water. And then for the pH, pure lignin has a 2, best decolorized lignin has a 4, and commercial lignin has a 6.5. So here is the explanation for the color. The color of the lignin tend to be dark because it is influenced by the presence of chromophore group. And then for the water solubility, basically lignin is hydrophobic, so it is not soluble in water. And then for the pH, as I already mentioned before, the pH of the lignin tend to be acidic because of the addition of acid in the lignin isolation process. And here is the conclusion of the research. The first one is the optimum concentration of PAC was found at the concentration of 15 gram per liter with a percentage value of 43.66% decolorization. And then for the optimum concentration of activated carbon was found at the concentration of 8 gram per liter with a decolorization percentage of 41.646%. And then the last one is the best decolorized lignin has a characteristic of a brighter color than pure lignin and commercial lignin, odorless, insoluble in water, and has a pH of 4. Maybe that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you for your wonderful presentation, ma'am. It was